Hey guys, so I wanted to come on and explain a little bit more how to find your lower class limits and your upper class limits. You'll see on the homework that a lot of it was done already for you, and you just had to find like the frequency and the relative frequency of the data. Um, for question 30, there was a question on there that had you find the class limits, and what it actually had you find was the class boundaries. And so I'm going to sort of talk about the difference between the class limits and class boundaries. So let's look at an example. It says, let's say the lower class limit is 49, the class width is 10, and then they want you to create 5 classes. So we would first start with my 49, and we would add 10 to it. So I'd get my 59, and this is actually the start of my second class. So class width, the difference is either lower class limits, consecutive lower class limits, or consecutive upper class limits. So I have my 2 classes, I add 10 to 59, so 69, that's my third class. My fourth class is 79, and my fifth class is 89. So one of the things with class limits is that there should never be any overlapping. So if we're trying to figure out, right, what my upper class limit is. So we know that the second class limit is 59. So this means, right, since there's no overlap, that the last class limit should end with 58, right? No overlapping. So once I find the upper class limit of the first class, I can take the class width and start adding 10 to it. So I get 68, 78, 88, and 98. And you'll notice, right, that there's a difference of 1 between them, but there's no overlap. 49 to 58, right, 58, 59, 68, 69, 78, 79, and so forth. So this would be class limits. So my class boundaries, we create these so that when I create my histogram, the bars touch. Because if I just created bars with class limits, you'll notice that there should be a little bit of a gap between them. So my class boundaries state we are going to subtract 0.5 from the lower class limits and then add 0.5 to the upper class limits. So if I do this for my first class, right, subtract 0.5 from 49, I get 48.5. And then add 0.5 to 58, I get, right, 58.5. And so I'm going to continue this trend. So adding and subtracting and then adding. So 58.5 to 68.5, 68.5 to 78.5, 78.5 to 88.5, and then 88.5 to 98.5. And now with these class boundaries, you'll notice that, let me change my color, that there's some overlap, right? The end of the first class and this beginning of the second class, there's that overlap. And you'll notice this sort of trend with the rest. And so I just wanted to come and sort of talk about this difference. And hopefully you can sort of see how we can create class limits with the given information, the lower class limit, the class width, and then the number of classes that we would need.